Hello and welcome to episode 90 of What If Civilization Started Over. Let's get into it. This is a pretty big episode. 90 episodes in the series. That is a lot. Just to say, last episode many things happened. This is the major thing. These meteors in this area, Bangladesh and Crimea. Today we're going to... Wait, what will we... Russia. Russia is going to be invading another country. And that country is going to be this yellow country. But the thing is, they're in the Unitarian Alliance thing. But the Unitarian Alliance thing acts like one country, but isn't. And Russia is just sent an application into the alliance. Yeah. So they will be invading this country. And, well, why aren't other countries making sanctions on them? Because they joined the alliance itself. Yeah. As Russia will be invading this country and sending their troops into this northern part to annex it. And when they send troops down south, they will be sending them quickly down south, as they will be, going here, and eventually taking the capital, and we can look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty, as Russia annexes all this territory. And then Russia is going to invade another country, Finland. Finland is invaded for the final time, as Finland is falling, and Finland surrenders in this treaty. And in this treaty, Finland is off the map for good. Finland is gone. Many countries are starting to leave the map. The biggest one that's left the map so far is China. China is gone. Yeah. And now we're going to go to the alliance layer, as even more nations are going to join the Unitarian Alliance in order to try and defend against what is known as the Vortex. The Vortex, basically what they know it as, is like this sort of like whole thing that might suck the entire world up. And that's why these meteors came. Who knows? Nobody knows why these meteors came. The meteors that came over in the Djibouti area, the Crimean area, and the Bengal area. They are pretty big meteors, and nobody knows why they're here. So, people are going to go ahead and, discover or just try to figure out what these meteors are made of. And this is all the nations that join this alliance. Yeah. When they go to the Bengal one, they find resources. A lot of resources. Resources this world hasn't seen yet. Yeah. And a new project is going to be started. A new big project is going to be started. People are seeing what's happening, and they might try to raise the water level. Seeing that this might lower the water level, might make more land, they can evaporate some water that will go into other waters, then that might raise the water level so these meteors don't affect too much. So, if you don't understand that, they basically want to raise the water level so the meteors don't lower the water level. Yeah, but what do they want to drain? The first area they want to drain is an area that doesn't really do much, and it's not the Panama Canal. Why am I here? But it's going to be this area. As they're going to build dams across this area, and after a couple years, it's going to go pretty successfully. And this is the new area that's been drained, and it is going to get divided between these two nations. The Central American nation and the Purple Mexican nation both came together to make this, and because of how advanced the technology is now, this is able to be done pretty quickly. Yeah. Wixo with borders? Let me fix that. Wixo doesn't need borders. And that's the first area that's drained, and that's all that's going to be drained so far. But a couple days after that, more meteors hit. One here is in the tip of the UAE. Another one hits here, and another one hits here. These two countries are going to be forced to move their capitals because of this. And this orange country is going to move their capital to here, and this blue country is going to decide to move their capital to here. And well, people are going to continue preparing, and the Romans start a new project. Project Save the World is what they call it. It is basically a project in order to send people to space, can live their memory, and maybe find a new planet to live on. And Rome is becoming a lot bigger recently. But next to them in Libya, the Libyan Revolution happens as this area rebels away. And well, this rebellion is pretty big as it goes ahead and encompasses all this area. And basically all of this giant area breaks away, feeling like that they do want to be their own independent nation. So they will quickly go ahead and go towards Egypt. But the Romans, seeing this, are going to decide, you know what? Let's invade this country. As Algeria will be being invaded by the Romans, and the Romans take this capital. And they continue to move down and make many landings over here. And they are also starting a new dam. A dam in the Mediterranean. And this dam is going to look like this. And they're also doing rapid construction of this dam, and it looks something like this. They also do another small dam right here in Sicily that you can't even see. And they're basically trying to drain all of this area. Yeah. Wait, that the right layout? I'll just draw that again. Dam here, and other dam here. Time to get back to the war layer. As the Romans will continue their invasion of this country, and it goes very successful that this country surrenders, and the Egyptians are just going to be forced to let the Libyans live. And we can look at the peace treaty. In this peace treaty, as Libya gains their independence, and well, time to look at the expansion of alliances, as the Roman alliance is getting a lot bigger, as the Libyans will be joining the Roman alliance, and so will the Turks, for some reason. Yeah. And people do not like what Rome is doing over here, but what can they do? They just did it with this. And some of these areas are already drained. And these are the lands that have already sunken. And countries have opinions on this. And they don't like how Rome just did that. And now, the Lion team is scrambling. They need another way to get to water. But they believe that the Aegean Sea will stay, but they will be invading this country anyways. But, well, they will be just fully annexing this country, and this country doesn't exist. And this is the territorial peak of the Lion team so far. Yeah. And just another thing to say, I think the Wixel episodes might start getting shorter. I think this one I might make 15 minutes long instead of normal 17. We'll probably get shorter over time with less stuff happening. Yeah. Time to go to the Arabian Peninsula. As these draining projects are getting bigger, people really do believe that this will work. And dams are built in the Persian Gulf as well. And then for some reason, some weird reason, another big one and two big ones in the Sea of Japan area, three big ones actually, as many dams are built. And also some in the Caribbean, like two big ones here. And well, basically these areas are draining. And they believe that this might actually help with saving the world. But at the same time, the water levels are rising, and certain islands, chains such as this one, are sinking, and these ones are also sinking, as more and more islands, over in Russia specifically, will start to sink, or just more and more areas. Yeah, and this is basically what sinks. And Russia sees this and is now starting to build dams of their own in order to sink the water level. Like with the approval of some other countries, they will build a pretty big dam right here and cut off the Baltic Sea because they see that this area is just sunken. Russia, part of it has sunken. That's a pretty big event. But time to go to alliances outside of and talk about events outside of the end of the world. as these two countries will be joining the Square Alliance. Yeah, and the Star Alliance by the Romans is starting to get bigger as this area joins it, this country, and is also starting to believe that maybe this might be the right idea. And well, wait, what? Did I forget something? The wrong layer? What? Oh, let me fix that real quick. And well, this pretty big dam is built and the issue is fixed. Yeah, and for some reason, people have gone so obsessed with building dams that they built this dam. Are you sure that's really gonna do anything? I don't think that's gonna do anything. But they don't realize that until it's too late. Yeah, but still, similar things are happening in Oceania. As was happening, what happened to Russia, as more and more of these small islands will start sinking, and the Pacific has become a lot less islandy. Yeah, and then eventually, all of North and South America are gonna sink, and then the entire world. No, yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. But another country is going to be joining the Brazilian Union. Or really, two countries are going to be joining the Brazilian Union. Or just Brazil. As these two countries join it. And then shortly after, this country decides to join the Union. And all these countries believe that Brazil is the right option. They believe that South America as a whole should be united, including these southern countries here. Yeah. What is this random dot here? Oh my. Is it? Oh my. No, guess there's just a random dot here. Quite an easy fix, actually. But, well, as I was saying, these countries will be joining the Brazilian Union. Yeah. As they all believe that this is the right option. They believe that if they can unite, that they might be able to stop the chaos happening. And, well, another message is sent through from an unknown verse from a while ago that just got here. It says it's from a universe with multiple space colonies. And it says that your world is small. We have we have many planets such as the moon and Mars and others that we own. You guys weren't able to colonize space, but we don't believe in you guys, and we believe that you guys should be gone. Is basically what the message says. Yeah. Yeah. Going back to Rome. As the Roman puppet state will be invading Germany, as they quickly go ahead and take the capital of Germany. And let's look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty as the Roman puppet state fully annexes Germany. And that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of What If Civilization Started Over. See you in the next episode. We only have 10 episodes left in the series. Bye!